In the process of installing our three-piece tub down here in the basement, I actually had to remove the neo-angle shower that we had here. The first thing that I noticed was that the tub, if you see my square there, that's as far as the tub is going to come out. So I'm going to have to remove these 3 tiles so we can put down 3 new tiles. That's no biggie. What really had me concerned was what the plumbing was like underneath the tub, because everything I could find online that showed hooking up the tub, it didn't look like anything that would relate it to a shower. So when I opened it up, I noticed the following. We have, it looks like 1.5 inch pipe there. We have a P-trap, and then it goes into the thing that mounts to the shower base. Now that was glued in place, so actually this was a little flange that was on top of the neo-angle shower base, so I had to cut that in order to get the base off. So it's not as bad as I thought. I took some measurements, looked in the instruction manual, took some measurements, and it looks like the drain outlet for the tub is going to be right there where the arrow is. So I have to remove the concrete from here to here. And then what I'll do is I'll cut it appropriately here, put on the appropriate 22 or 45, whatever I need, and go straight over to there. So that's not too bad. The concrete is only about 2 inches thick, so what I'll probably do is score it with my diamond bit on my reciprocating saw, on my circular saw, and then use my cold cut chisel and hammer, which I have right there, to take out the concrete. Another thing which I had to do was, as the drain is right there, I looked at the plumbing unit, not quite the pressure unit, whatever this is called. It was going to have to move 3 inches over this way. Fortunately, there was a 2x6 stud right there, so I had to install a new stud here so that I could move this over, because I'll have to cut here and cut here, move it over as well as towards me a little bit, because I have to build a wall here for the tub. So I'll show you what the finished plumbing looks like, and hopefully it should all work out okay. So I used my DeWalt 18-volt circular saw and a diamond cut bit right there, and I cut the grout line. It goes right down there and over to there, and let's go back the other way. And I also made cuts in the concrete there. Obviously I used water as I was cutting, and I made 3 or 4 progressive cuts. I started off with about 1/8 of an inch, and I went deeper and deeper until I'm down to the full width of the blade now. So hopefully with my cold cut chisel and a small heavy hammer, I should be able to chip all that out and then excavate some of the crushed stone, and I should be able to do my plumbing. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it's done. You can see the rubble. It actually took me literally less than 1 minute with the hammer and cold cut chisel. Each one of those pieces probably took me a couple of seconds, just a couple of swift blows with the chisel, with the hammer on the chisel, and then the big piece just came loose. So like I'd say a minute, and it was out, and it wasn't very strenuous. So now I've just got to do some excavation there. It actually took me longer to take up the tiles, which I just put the edge of the chisel underneath the tile and just tap until it came up in a big pile of pieces. So now I've got some cleanup. I've got to get the adhesive, which is Portland cement and fine sand. Got to get that up so we can lay tiles to go under the tub, because the tub will come to about right here. So we need to put 3 new tiles in right along there. Okay, so now I've got the area cleaned up. I've got all the junk removed. I spent a considerable amount of time, maybe 20 minutes, cleaning all the adhesive off the floor here to make it suitable for the new tiles, which I have here. And that one up there, I actually had to trim it because that will go in around the corner of that 2x4. And that 2x4 is actually part of the framing. There's that wall over there that was already in place. This wall here, what the clamps are bolted to, I actually made that yesterday, so that just popped up there when I had everything all ready. And I say the bulkhead that goes across the top, I also made that yesterday, and that's all made as per like the instructions in the manual. So that is the frame for the Aspen 3-piece tub unit. So next I'm going to install the mix up some mortar using, I think it's 3 parts fine sand, 1 part cement, and probably a 1/4 part hydrated lime, and then I'll spread that and set them in place. So I've got my bucket of mortar, which is, as I mentioned before, 3 parts sand, 1 part Portland cement, and a 1/4 part hydrated lime. I think that's about the right consistency. I've never really done this before. It looks about right. So now I'm just going to apply it using this trowel with the teeth. Probably end up using that, and I'll see how it goes. Take this towel and set it. Let's try this one. I'm not using the little plastic tees because I don't have them, so I'm just sort of lining them up as I think they should go. It should work. So there you have it. The 3 tiles are now put in place. I just have to wait 6 or 7 hours, or probably wait until tomorrow before I grout it, or late this evening. So I just have to do some other stuff now to get the tub ready for installation.